Awesome New Technologies for HR is a fixture of HR tech, where after reviewing dozens and dozens of new solutions over the summer, we select and showcase the most important and innovative new technologies that have been developed over the last year. Each of our presenting companies has about 10 minutes to showcase their latest awesome innovation for you, and it's a fast-moving and fun session. And hopefully, by the end of the hour, you'll agree each one is indeed awesome. You're going to love this session. Let's get right to it. Next up, I'd like to welcome someone who I believe I saw on this stage this time last year. From iCIMS, please welcome Al Smith.
Hey, Steve,
Good
thanks so
luck,
much. You haven't gotten a hug yet, you know?
Al, Jersey.
So, Jersey hug. So, hey, I can't tell you how honored we are to be here a second year in a row with another amazing product. Shout out to my labs and marketing teams. Keep the innovation coming. So, I'm going to present today Virtual Career Fairs by iCIMS, iCIMS TextRecruit. And I also like to introduce Yolanda Coquilla, my product marketing manager who's driving for me today. So a couple setups. These are not like traditional virtual events. Very simple, very easy to set up. It's really important to understand this augments your other activities, and it extends your budget by using online. I'm going to ask you to remember 3 words today from this presentation: simplify, scale, and speed. So when we talk about simplify, we want to help you overcome the barriers of remote locations and cost to really get a more diversified candidate pool into your matching to your jobs and reach people you otherwise wouldn't reach. It really helps you target candidates. This is an important part of really any diversity and inclusion program. When we talk about scale, this is really around making more effective and efficient recruiter activities. It's really around using digital promotion to improve your attendee capture, which we're all trying to do, and modernizing the experience with an AI assistant. And then speed. Speed the time to find talent, speed the time to hire. This really improves your competitive edge. It's an important part of also presenting your company as a modern brand. So let's take you through what it means to use a virtual career fair. We've set up a fictional company, Hex Digital, and we've set up an event for today so we can walk you through it. There's 3 steps. You're going to set up the event and set up the reporting that you want with it. You're going to target your audience and promote the event. And then we're going to take you through a branded AI-enabled situation where you see the experience of the candidate and see how it works. So I want to add a couple things here. Our most progressive customers are really extending their reach with this. Again, it's a great augmentation to the things that you're doing. And there's a lot of things you can do that we don't have time to show you today. Let's go ahead and navigate to our events module. Here, you can look at your current and past events. You can drill into any event. Yolanda, let's add an event. So as we add an event, there's a couple things that's really important. It's the same experience for all of your scheduling. You move the slider over to a virtual career fair. You specify the date and time. And this is maybe where you want to do a little planning and thinking. You give it an event name and a description. You'll see later on where those come into play to give context to the chat session that gets started through text. Let's move on. Once you've set this up, I can now go in and put some tags on this for easy reporting. That's really important as you start to track your metrics and what you're trying to cover. As your candidates register, you can drill in here. You can see we have a few because I set this up a little bit earlier. And you can drill into the details coming from your CRM. I think it's time now, let's go ahead and promote the event. A couple things that we do here. One of the things you can do is we make it very simple to use a web link. You can copy it into your clipboard. Now you can promote this event on your career site, on your social media. Those would be kind of broadcast events. Or as we're going to show you today is a targeted invite and actually inviting people to join your event. It's really flexible, simple, but yet powerful. So we're going to send a personalized target invite. Our tool goes ahead and pulls the candidate information that you've selected. It puts it in and lets you see a preview of it in case you want to make a difference, a change to it. And there's a big difference here with this kind of promotion. By meeting the candidates where they are on their mobile phone, you're going to really achieve a much higher response rate. 40% or higher. Some of our customers are exceeding 90% or higher. Compare that to a traditional email campaign where you might consider 4 or 5%, a great return in response on a campaign. I think I want to switch now to the candidate experience. Let's introduce you to Yvonne. She's a USC engineering student, and we've invited her and like to invite her to the event. So you can see Yvonne gets a text here, and it's really important that it's real simple. She can click a link to register and accept the invite. Now she's taken to a mobile adaptive web page where if you had sent multiple invites to her for maybe different jobs and different chats, they would all list here. But since we've only sent her one, she can just select that one event. And again, because we invited her, we know her information, we auto-confirm it. Now, if you had moved this web link out through a broadcast on your social media or your web page, she would have to enter some simple information to actually register for the event. That's simple. Let's go ahead and move to the day of the event. So as we move to the day of event, there's a couple things that are really important. Now that somebody's accepted, we want to send a reminder. So we send a reminder 24 hours before the event, and we send a reminder an hour before the event. This really helps with the attendance of the registrees. So as the event comes close and you're ready to go, I think that what we're going to see is that Yvonne's going to go and say, I'm going to join the event. If she's early, she's going to get a countdown clock. In the background, I want to introduce Jane, our recruiter. Jane has seen all the different candidates come into the event, and she's claimed Yvonne for her session. So let's go on into the next event. So here, the conversation begins. This is where I mentioned earlier the event title at the top, and also the description is actually used in here to give immediate context to the conversation. As the conversation progresses, the goal here is now to establish interest and begin qualifying the candidate to the fit. Really important that it's conversational and relaxed. I think what we'll find is that as you get to know the candidate and the candidate gets to understand the opportunity, this really opens up the time to speed it along. Usually you have a lot of simple questions and answers to qualify as you go along. And I think one of the things that we'll see is that as they get more comfortable, Jane's also beginning to think about the other candidates that she's chatting with. And so since they're comfortable, Jane actually wants to move ahead and introduce Ari, her AI assistant, to continue the qualifying and actually allow her to switch over and work with some of the other candidates. So Ari joins the conversation and confirms who it is, and also starts asking some questions. This allows Jane, again, to switch back and forth between candidates while still giving a great experience. The other thing you should know is that Ari, the assistant, can be enabled or disabled at any time and may know when it needs human assistance and bring it right back to the recruiter. This really allows for that consistent quality experience. Ari's really going through now a series of knockout questions, really trying to get the qualification and the fit to where you want it to be so you can move along here. I think as questions go on, the candidate may have some questions. So you're going to see Ari be able to answer questions like, what are the work hours? And be able to go ahead and do that. Again, not needing human interaction while it's going on there. Again, Jane gets to handle multiple people and deliver a great experience. I think Ari has made and really feels like this is a good fit. Yvonne really fits what we're looking for. So Ari's gone ahead and created the application and then gone a step further and set up interview slots for Yvonne to pick to propose in-person interviews between Yvonne and Jane. This is really a speeding the time to the application. Jane has had several candidates going on while she's doing this. They all have had a pretty smooth experience. We've also shown you, by the way, this AI assistant, Ari, several uses, certainly in doing qualifying questions, answering questions, and scheduling. There are other things that Ari can do, like helping a candidate search for a job, if that's how you want to script what your situation is. So early on in wrapping up, I asked you to remember 3 words: simplify, scale, and speed the connections. This is matching talent to you as an employer And I think it's really critical that you're presenting a modern brand, meeting the candidates where they are. Shout out to that TextRecruit team for bringing a great, awesome new product. And I want to thank you for your time today.